Hey, welcome everybody. It is your host, Tony Porter. It's Universal Baseball Association YouTube channel, and it's the 2024 Yankees using Deep Drive Baseball. Hope everybody's doing well out there. You know, I always share my thoughts. Now, we are at Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium is friendlier to right-handed batters. Um, what else can I tell you? So playing modern baseball, there's a lot of factors. That you have to get used to, and that's just the reality of it. And let's get started. Let's get started in this game. It is Carlos Rodon on the mound for the Yankees. He's a lefty versus J.P. Sears, another lefty. Now, both these pitchers have about almost 180 innings, which is like a workhorse in modern terms. Okay, so J.P. Sears had 11-13 record. With a team that was just not very good, from what I remember in 2024. And we've got a bunch of players who I never even heard of, to be honest with you. We got a guy named Ruiz, a guy named Nevin, Brent Rooker. We got Shea Langoliers, Abraham Toro. I have heard of them a couple of times, but it's not like I know anything about these guys. Are they good? Are they poor? Are they good defensively? Are they power hitters? I think it's Geloff. Is that how you pronounce that? Noda, Allen, and Schumann. So these are all the guys on this team. Defensively, nobody is. This guy's below. Well, actually, he's a good right fielder. I'm not sure what position he's playing today. We'll see that. In the second, Brent Rooker, DH, left field, right field, not very good. The catcher, Langoliers, is good. He's a 4, so that's pretty good. And his arm is a 0. So Abraham Toro is just average. Second baseman, Geloff, is average. Noda, first baseman, is average. Nick Allen, shortstop, is below average. And Schumann is another guy. He's like a utility guy. He can play all over the place. And he is also just average. All right, let's get started. Let's see who's up, see how far we get. Ruiz is up against Carlos Rodon. Rodon so far in our replay. How's he doing in our replay? Rodon is 1 win, 2 losses, 5 starts, 19 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts. He's got a 1.6 whip, so he's really struggled. His ERA is almost 6, so he needs to have a good game. And here's the pitch, and it's going to start off with a 95 and a 6, and that's a fly ball left field, F7 for the first out. So Reeves flies out. Here's Tyler Nevin. The pitch, and that's a 99 with a 3, and that'll be a bouncer to third. Cabrera over to first, 2 away. So far, so good for Rodon. Here's Brent Rooker. Brent Rooker hit 39 home runs. Holy smokes, with a 293 average. So he's like their all-star, I guess. And that's a 0-9, which is going to be ripped and drops in front of Verdugo for a BB single off the bat of Rooker, who can hit. And here's Shea Langoliers now. He's a right-handed hitter against Rodon. And the pitch, and that is a 45, and that'll do it. A 3 is a hard hit ball to the first baseman, Rizzo. He will flip to the pitcher covering, so it's a G1-3. I'm sorry, a G3-1, and that'll do it. All right, we go to the bottom of the first. No score. Yankees coming up to bat. It's going to be Volpe leading off. Let me double check the screen, make sure you're seeing everything. Yep, looks pretty decent. Should be hearing me. I did a sound check as well, 22, and that's a swing and a miss, and Volpe chases a high fastball from Sears. So that's a K. Next is Juan Soto. Soto batting in the Sim 293 with 11 home runs and 39, which will be a grounded to short, 2 away for the Yanks. Allen picks that up. So the defense is Toro at third, Allen at short, Geloff at second, and Noda at first. And the outfield from left to right is Schumann, Ruiz, and Nevin. And here's the Aaron Judge. Judge batting .350 with 7 home runs and 17 RBIs. That's a 74, and that'll be a defensive result. With a 16, and a 16 will be a second baseman, he will make that play because I believe Geloff was a 3. Yes, he was. So 3 is like your average guy, and I try to remember who the average. Everybody else was below average, so I would have to check some people. But I have, a decent, not a great memory, but a decent enough memory to remember a couple of players, right, that are either above or below standard. Here's Abraham Toro leading off against Rodon here in the top of the second inning. No score. Here's the pitch, and that is a 32, which will be an out. That's a fly ball, center field. Judge over it. Let me do the defense for the Yankees. Infield from third base to first, it's Cabrera, Volpe, Torres, and Rizzo. Behind the plate is Trevino. From left to right in the outfield is Verdugo, Judge, and Soto. All right, next up with one out is Geloff. And the pitch, it's a 65, which will be a swing and a miss. Curveball. Got him. Next is Ryan Noda, lefty, first baseman. Pitch, and that's a 59, which will be a ground ball and through the right side, past the diving Torres. So it's the second hit allowed by Rodon. Not a threat to steal. Nick Allen is up. And here's a pitch, and that is a 46, which will do it. That's lifted to center field. And that'll end the inning. So they leave a man. And it is Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton's got 4 home runs, 253 average. Here's a pitch from J.P. Sears, and that is an 18, which will be a swing and a miss. Fastball gets him to chase. So Sears brings the heat against Stanton. Stanton does not catch up with it. Here is Rizzo now, lefty on lefty with a 43. And a 2 is a bouncer to the first baseman, G3. So, this is a 50-50 game with a twist because it has something called a deep drive chart. And that's where all the extra base hits come from, which is kind of cool. Let's do Torres. And it also has a chart similar to like Stratomatic, a chart for errors in range. Here's Gleyber Torres, the pitch, and that is a 49 with a fly ball. In the gap on the run is Rees, and Rees, the center fielder, runs it down to end the inning, go top of the third. Max Schumann. Now, to learn this game, I would start off with an older season where you can keep the starting pitchers in there the whole game. It's less calculation and less of a headache as you're learning. And then once you learn, I think you can then branch out and go into the modern era. Here's, I can't even pronounce his first name, E. Rees. That's a 55, and that is a deep drive. A deep drive with a 5. So the righty does have the ballpark of 44, and that's going to be a drive off the wall, and that rolls away from Judge in right center field. Around second is Ruiz, and here's the relay, Volpe to Cabrera with the tag, and that is a 1-out triple. That looked like it was gone. He unloaded on that pitch. It was a hanging slider. He drove that into the gap, hit off the wall, and rolled away from Judge, which allowed a double to become a triple. So 1 out, runner on third. Yankees are going to let the run score. Nevin is up. Just rather get the out. A 64 will be a hit by pitch. So he gets plunked. That puts runners on first and second. So Rodon is angry with himself. Now, these cards are really nice to read, very easy to read. If you're an APBA player, this is something that you'll really appreciate because they're super uncluttered. And I like the name. The name is pretty prominent. I like that about the APBA cards. And I've been, there's a box on my shelf, and I don't know how it fell on the floor, and it had some APBA cards in it, and I was so tempted to play an APBA game, which I will soon. All right, we're playing deep drive baseball, and here is Rooker. Brent Rooker against Carlos Rodon. Runs on first and third. Looking for a double play. Rodon looks back at Volpe and Torres and shakes the 2 fingers. And that is going to be a 68, which will be a swing and a miss. Blows a fastball by Rooker at 94 miles an hour. Next is Shea Langoliers with 2 out and 2 on. Steps to the plate. Calls time. Steps out. Takes a couple of practice swings. He's ready now. And here's the pitch, and that is going to be a 28, which will be a defensive result. And a defensive result of 45 will be to the first baseman, and diving for it is Rizzo, flipping to Rodon. What a play. And that is a run saver for sure, a 3-1. Rizzo flashing the leather a little bit here to save the Yankees a run, and that's a third out. We go to bottom of the third. Verdugo leads off against J.P. Sears with a 78. And a 9 is a high fly center field. A couple of steps in is Ruiz. And next up is Trevino. Jose Trevino with a 92 and a 6, and that's lifted to left center field. Left fielder Schumann, he's there. Oswaldo Cabrera with a 28, and that will do it. That's bounced to the first baseman, Noda, who takes it himself to retire the side. We go to the top of the fourth. Abraham Toro leads off. He was a 240 hitter with 6 home runs. And that's a 26, which will be a 3, and that's bounced to third. Oswaldo Cabrera, strong throw to first in time. Zach Geloff with a 74. Swings and misses, chases a ball out of the zone. And that's 2 away, and here comes Ryan Noda. Up here in the right-hand corner is their speed. On the left-hand corner is the side that they either throw or bat. For a batter, it would be the batting side. For a pitcher, it would be the throwing side. And that's going to be a 48, and that'll do it. That's a high fly center field. Judge backs up a step, under it, squeezes it for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the fourth. So now, if you're playing an older season, these games you'll play a really fast game because you won't have to make pitching changes. But once I get to the sixth inning, I got to start bringing in guys. So that slows everything up. And it's not a race, but I'm just saying it's much easier to focus on learning the game when you have one pitcher in there. Maybe you have 2 good pitchers and, they both go complete games. It would be much easier for you to get the good hang of it, right? And then later you can start making lots of changes. At least that's the way it works for me. That's a 33 with a 6. That's a ripped up the middle, and Allen dives for it, gets back up on his feet, whips it to first, and just gets the speedy Volpe by half a step, and Volpe doesn't think so. They're going to look at this one. We're going to have to wait a second. So Soto's up next, and they come back, and he's out at first base. So the Yankees will lose their challenge. Here's Soto with 1 out. And a 73. And that's a defensive result. So what you could do is roll a die. And on a 1, they overturn it. Or on a 1 and a 2, they overturn the play. And the guy gets the base. So that's a 16, and that is going to be a second baseman. He's going to get there over to first in time, G4. So Soto bounces one to the second baseman for the second out. Here's Aaron Judge with a 52. That's a deep drive, and that is 81, and that's down the line, fair ball into the left field corner. And Schumann plays the carom into second base as Judge ahead of the throw with a 2-out double. Next up is Giancarlo Stanton. And that is going to be an 18, which will be a swing and a miss, and curveball gets him. All right, Nick Allen, we're in the top of the 5th inning. Both starting pitchers are still in there. And that's a 63, which will be a base on balls. So Allen walks. And you got to look at the opposite player to make sure he doesn't have a rare result there, especially with the modern games where you have a lot of, extreme results. So you always got to look at, so if it's off the batter card, you got to look off the pitcher card. 0 to 49 is off the batter card. 50 to 99 is off the pitcher card. All right, so we got a runner at first. Allen, let's check and see his stolen bases. He had no stolen bases. I don't have to worry about that. Here's Schumann, pitch. And that's a snake eyes, and that's a base on ball. So back-to-back walks for Rodon here. And pitching coach is going to go out there and talk to him a little bit. Now, I don't do much bunting or hit and running in these modern games because I just don't see it happening. I may be wrong with some teams, but I don't worry about that. So here's Esteri Esturi Ruiz. I don't know how to pronounce that name. In Spanish, it would be Esteuri or I don't know, Ruiz, Ruiz. And here's the pitch, and that's going to be trouble, 16, and that's a swing and a miss. Thought it was going to be trouble. Not trouble at all. It's trouble for Ruiz. Strikes out with runners on first and second for the first out. Next is Tyler Nevin, who's a 204 hitter. The pitch from Rodon with a 48 and a 2. That's a slow ground ball. Both runners are going to advance. That's first baseman Rizzo. Steps on the bag. So slow roller by Nevin. Puts runners on second and third for the best hitter on the team. And we're not going to walk him here. I mean, he's not that good. It's a 0-0 game. Do you load the bases? Who do we face? 293, 224, Shea Langoliers. But he's got power. So that's a tough situation. Rooker can hit. He's a 290 hitter with a 365 on-base percentage. You know what? We're going to put Rooker on here. Let's walk Rooker and face Langoliers. Hopefully he doesn't connect here. For a down. Bases are loaded. And 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And the pitch. And that's an 89. We're going to get out of it. 7. It's a high fly right field. Soto near the line. And he makes a running catch. And that retires the side. So the Yankees once again. Let's see. Did it give me credit for the right thing? Game. Brodon Bell comes to Soto. There he makes a catch. Yeah, okay. All right, 0-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Rizzo's up. Both starting pitchers are having a heck of a game. A 79 with a 0. That is ripped and caught by the second baseman, Torres. Hit it on the screws, but right at... I'm sorry, Geloff, the second baseman Geloff. Here's Gleyber Torres with a 75, and that'll be a defensive result. We're going to look at that. A 62 is a ground ball past the diving Toro for a single. And we'll make sure Toro is not a 4. I think he was a 3. He is a 3 at third base. So Torres is on. Now, Torres had 4 stolen bases, so we're not going to worry about that. Here's Verdugo with 1 out and 1 on. The lefty Verdugo is really struggling at the plate here in our batting 140. Here's the pitch. And that's a 16, and that'll be a swing and a miss. And he chases a curveball, strikes out. And here's Jose Trevino. Pitch by Sears, 88, and that's an 8, and that'll be a high fly, center field. Ruiz is there. And that retires the side. All right, so Rodon is approaching his stamina limit, his endurance limit, top of the 6th. Toro leads off. And that's a 46 with a 1 popped up, left side. Third baseman Cabrera on the outfield grass makes the catch, 1 away. Zach Geloff with a 13, and that'll be a check swing, and they check with the first base umpire, and he brings them up. And Geloff doesn't agree. Here's Noda now, lefty. And 31 will be a check swing, and he gets run up. Back-to-back check swings, and the umpire on the side of the Yankees right now. Here's Cabrera, leads off the bottom of the 6th. So Sears, he's in good shape. It's Rodon who's a little bit tired, approaching that endurance limit. And that's going to be a 47 with a 2, and that's bounced to the first baseman. So everything's off the cards here, except for, of course, kind of think of Stratomatic, right? Everything except the range play and the error would be on the chart, which I just kind of pinned up to the wall in front of my face. So I can have, although it's so small, I would like to see it larger. That would make me much happier. Make the font larger, make the whole thing larger, but that's on my wish list. Here's Volpe with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch from Sears with a 35, and that'll be 2, which is a tapper right back to the pitcher. Next is Juan Soto with an 86, and that'll do it. That's ripped and caught by Geloff at second base. 3 up, 3 down. Easy inning for Sears. And here's Rodon. Rodon's tired, so we're going to go to the bullpen. Who are we going to grab? Pretty good with the Yankees now. I know most players, I had to learn them, right? I mean, I watch them, every couple of nights. But, you know, so many different players all the time. So I'm going to go with Luke. Oh, no, Luke Weaver's a little bit tired. I'm going to go with Michael Tonkin. Let me see. Tonkin should be here in this set. Because he stays with the Yankees the whole year. Hold on a second. All right, Tonkin's ready. Let's do it. So, Michael Tonkin, he's coming in as pitcher. And then he will be facing, who will he be facing? Still no score in this game. Still no score. So it's nobody out, nobody on. Allen against Tonkin. Tonkin had a 1.2 whip with a 3.63 ERA, age 34, with a 61, and that'll be a base on balls. So Allen walks, has no speed, so will not be running anywhere. Next up will be Schumann, and he will just swing away in the pitch, and that's a 94, which will be a 6, and that's a bouncer to second base. Flips to Volpe for the force. That's all they'll get. 4-6, fielder's choice. Schumann now. Oh, and Schumann can. He's got 14 stolen bases. We'll send him. There he goes, and he is safe. So Schumann steals second. And the go-ahead run is here in the top of the 7th. Is his second base. Ruiz is next. Pitch from Tonkin, a 54. That's going to be a base hit. And coming around to score will be Schumann, and the A's have taken the lead. Just like that. Rips one, first pitch, into left center field. And Schumann read it perfectly and came around to score easily. It's 1-0 A's. So that was a 54, and yep. Here is Tyler Nevin. Foul ball into the seats. Here's the pitch. And it's a 17, and the 17 will be a strikeout. High heat. Tonkin brings the high heat and blows it past the batter. And here is Brent Rooker. 2 out, 1 on, 70, and that'll be a swings and misses at a high fastball to end the inning. But the A's come up with a big run. And Sears, we're going to push him for one more inning. Let's see if we can do one more inning here, get through the 7th. And that's a 29, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Strikeout. Strikes out Judge. And Giancarlo Stanton is next. Oh, he's tired already. So we're gonna pull him. We're gonna pull J.P. Sears. I just use Digital Diamond Baseball, and they guide me. That way, it's one less thing I have to calculate. I do like the system that they use, but I only do it when I have paper and pencil. I don't use paper and pencil that much anymore. Let's see. We need a setup guide. It also tells you who's who. Lucas Urseg. Let's see if we can find him. Okay, so Tonkin, Austin Adams came in and retired the side. So we go to the top of the 8th inning here, and we have to replace Tonkin, who is now tired. And we're probably going to grab, let's see who we're going to grab real quick here. We got a righty coming up, Shea Langoliers, and then Abraham Toro. And all right, so we're going to go with a righty. We're going to go with Ian Hamilton's tired. Clay Holmes. Marinaccio. We're going to go with Marinaccio. Let's do that. He should be on top. And Deep Drive Baseball's coming out. Coming out 2025. Any day now. So just a heads up. Just a heads up. You can start playing the playoffs in the World Series before any other game. All right, it's Marinaccio versus Shea Langoliers here in the top of the 8th. It's 1-0 A's. It's a 57, and that'll be a base on ball, so it's a walk for Langoliers. Next up is Abraham Toro. Here's the pitch, and that's an 87. That's ripped. Now, this could be a double play, and it is not. So it's an L5. He whips it to first, but not in time. Diving back is Langoliers, so Abraham Toro hit the heck out of that ball, but right at third baseman Cabrera. 1 out now here, and here's Geloff, Zach Geloff with a 66, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Chases a curveball. And here's Ryan Noda with 2 out and 1 on. And a 45 will do it. One is a pop-up. And you look at the one is a pop-up. The one is a first baseman in foul territory. Makes the catch, and that retires the side. We're at bottom of the 8th now. Also, FO. Let's do F3. Okay, it's going to be Adams is tired, so we're going to the bullpen again. And this bullpen I don't know that well, and I don't think I pulled every card from every place. So, a guy named Lucas Urseg, I don't think I have him, or do I? The one complaint I do have is that you don't get a play. So if a player played with 3 different teams, you won't get him on 3 different teams. You'll have to kind of pull him, and that is a major pain. I'll be honest with you. It is a major pain. If you care about, like, some guys don't care about the actual lineups. They just use whatever guys come in the set, and that's fine. If you do that, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're like me, okay, here we got Mitch Spence. I saw his card. And then in the 9th, we'll go to the closer. Here's Mitch Spence. So let's grab him. Let's use him. He's available. He will be facing Mitch Spence. My buddy here is getting up. He's getting anxious. He knows that once 9 or 10 o'clock comes around, my husky, he knows it's time to take a walk. And man, I'm enjoying those walks with my dogs. I think I'm starting to look forward to those walks with my dogs. And that says a lot about my age. Gleyber Torres. And that's a 95, which will be a 2. And that's bounced to first. Noda up with it. Steps on the bag ahead of Torres for the first out. Next up is Verdugo. And that's a 44 and a 2. And that's a ground ball to the first baseman again. Noda will take it himself. 2 away, and Jose Trevino with a 95, and ripped and caught by the shortstop Allen, L6. So hit on the screws, but right at Allen. We go to top of the 9th. Marinaccio is still okay. Let's see if we can get 3 outs. You know what? Let's see if we can. Allen is up. No, I don't want to use him. I can use Ferguson, but he's a lefty. I got 2 lefties there. Ian Hamilton is somewhat tired. Santana. We'll go with Santana. He's easy to find because he was with the Pirates. I think he gets traded to the Pirates. So his card is black. Oh, let's see. What the heck? There he is. Oh, no, that's Houston. Here's Santana. All right. His name is Dennis Santana. It was okay. 3.89 ERA, but he had a really low whip. 71 innings pitched, 3-1 record. He's going to face Nick Allen here in the top of the 9th. Yeah, he's leading at 1-0. That's a 68, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Here's Max Schumann. Pitch from Santana, winds and deals 0-6, and that is a rip base hit to right center field. So Schumann is on, and he steals bases. But he already stole one today, so we're not going to get out to steal again. Here's the pitch to Ruiz with an 81 and a 3, and that's bounced to third. Goes to second for 1, back to first, not in time. So it's a 5-4, fielder's choice. G5-4. And next is Nevin. Tyler Nevin steps to the plate. He is 0 for 3 today, grounded out, hit by pitch, grounded out again, and struck out. And an 85 will end the inning with a tapper right back to Santana. Comes off the mound, picks it up, whips it to first in time to end the inning. G1. All right, now we're going to go to the closer for the A's, who is a guy who is probably one of the top closers in all of baseball, I believe. And it says closer on his card, so all I got to do is look for him. Like I said, I don't know the A's, but I do know this closer. I think his name is Mason. Right? Miller. No, Mason Miller. Mason Miller is his name. All right, so he will come in, Mason Miller, and he's got 30, 56, 66, 76, 56 to 86 on his card is a strikeout. Holy smokes. There he is. Oh, and he's weary. Not totally tired, not wiped out, but he's a little bit on the consumed side, if you will. All right. So he will be facing, I don't expect him to face more than 3 batters on the Yankees. We'll see. He may get tired after that, and I'll have to pull him. That's a 70, and that's going to be a strikeout. What a surprise. So he strikes out Cabrera. Up comes Volpe. 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. The A's lead it by a run. The A's 1-5-0. The Yankees 0-2-0. And the pitch, and that is a 92, which normally is a wild pitch. Otherwise, it's going to be a 32. I'm sorry, a 92 is going to be a 3, which is a slow grounder to third. Toro charges, fires the first in time. G5 just gets Volpe by half a step. And 2 out, nobody on. A's up by 1. Juan Soto at the plate against Mason Miller. And here's the pitch. And that's a 13, which will be ball 4. So Soto does his thing and waits him out. Uses his eye to get on base to keep the inning alive. So the Yankees now have the winning run at the plate in Aaron Judge with 2 out and one on. Yankees trail by 1. So Judge with a blast here would win the game for the Yankees. Let's see what happens. Here's the pitch by Mason Miller. And a 21 will be a base on ball, so back-to-back walks. You can tell he's being very careful with these Yankee superstars, the 1-2 punch. And I think this is probably his last batter now because he turned yellow there. Orange, yellow, whatever, mustard color. And here's Giancarlo Stanton. He's another guy that has good power and can send one into the seats. See what happens. Here's the pitch. I got it. Oh no, that's a line drive base hit. And we are going to send first base, and 1 run comes in. The game is tied. The game is tied, my friends. And Judge is on third base. And up comes Anthony Rizzo. So the game is tied here in the bottom of the 9th with that base hit. And Mason Miller, gave up the hit. Here's the pitch to Anthony Rizzo with the winning run at third base, 2 outs. And that's going to be a 47, which will turn into a hard hit ball up the middle. Geloff gets there, flips to Allen, and that retires the side. We're going into free baseball time. 10th inning, runner on second base is Nevin. Okay, so let's finish this up. It's all tied at 1. It's the top of the 10th. It's 2024. There's a runner at second base. I believe he's the runner who made the last out. Nevin, I could pinch run for him. Let me see. Tyler Nevin. Oh, yeah, he's very slow. So we're going to pinch run for Tyler Nevin. Let's run somebody who has some speed. Very slow, average, very slow, fast. Let me see. Do I have a Brett Harris? No. Andujar is not there. Seth Brown. Okay, I don't have these guys. Okay, so Seth Brown. No, he can't run. Blade can run. Yeah, we're gonna J.J. Blade. All right, so he's gonna be the pinch runner. And let's see what happens. Let's finish this up. Gotta go to work tomorrow. All right. So, who do we bring in this situation? Let's see. So there's no. Yeah, it's not as. You know what? We're gonna go with our closer here. Gonna bring in. Because we are at home in extra innings. So we're going to grab our boy Holmes, right? Play Holmes. And he will be facing their best hitter, Rooker. And we are ready to roll here in the top of the 10th inning. All right. Run around second. You know what? Do we walk this guy? Nah. And 78 is going to be a strikeout. So Holmes with a slider strikes out Rooker for the first out of the inning. Langoliers now. And it's a 10, and that's going to be a base on balls. So Langoliers walks. So that sets up the double play. Here's Abraham Toro. Holmes from the stretch gets a sign from Trevino, first and second here in the top of the 10th, 1 out. And that's going to be a 14. Struck him out. Big K blows a fastball by Toro. And now Holmes does have a tendency to lose the plate at times, although his card here doesn't really present that. But I've seen him really struggle with his control. Here's a guy named Geloff. And the pitch. And that's going to be a 21. Struck him out, and that retires the side. So the Yanks are in a good position here, and the Yanks with Rizzo at second base. Rizzo can run a little bit, so we will let him run. Actually, Trent Grisham, yeah. This goes more by, you know what it goes more by? It goes more by runs scored, I think, and base advancement. It doesn't go so much as just your speed. So if you didn't advance a lot, take the extra base. We need a right fielder here. So let's get right fielder. Who came in to pinch run? It was, what's his face, Blade. We're going to put him in center field, and then Reeves will go to right field most likely. Let's see. He can't play, so he'll play left field. And where's our left fielder? Max Schumann will probably now play right field, I have a feeling. Yep. All right, so we are ready to roll. Let's see our situation with the pitching. Let's see what that's at. So Miller, he's our... Oh, and he's gone beyond. He's gone a little bit beyond. And you know what? We're going to pull him. All right, we're going to pull Mason Miller, and we're going to grab the next guy in line. Let's see who we got here. He's not available, this guy, Danny Jimenez. Let's see if we have him. Danny Jimenez. No, I do not have him here, so I'm just going to go to the next guy. I'm not going to... TJ McFarland. I just saw his card somewhere in here. There he is. He's a lefty, and he's a lefty specialist, so that'll put Rizzo at a disadvantage. So that works for us right now. Let's do that. TJ McFarland comes in, and he will pitch to Rizzo here in the bottom of the 10th. Do I have a pinch hitter for Rizzo that I want to use, right? Pinch hitter, do I have this guy? No, I have all lefties. All right, so let's do it. And here's the pitch, and that is a 41 with a 3, and that's a slow ground ball to third. Now, will the runner advance? That's a good question. Slow ground balls, they usually do advance. So a slow ground ball to third, it says all slow, always advance the runner. So it's a little dribbler to third base. Toro charges, taking third is Rizzo. So it's a productive out, and Torres is out. Oh no, wait. Rizzo's at second base, so it was Torres. And will it be the same thing? 41 a 3. It's a ground ball to first base. So runner will advance, G3. And runner advances to third base now. On this G3. Yeah, runner on second advances. Okay, so we got the winning run at third base in Rizzo, and it's Verdugo, another lefty. And that's all I got here. I don't have any righties really that I can use. Jamal Jones, I really don't know what's going on with him because, you know what? I'm going to bring in Jamal Jones. Jamal Jones, and he's going to have an advantage. Because, all right. So let's see. Let's pinch here with Jamal Jones. He did play in 33 games with the Yankees. 33 games, age 26. He's orange. I'm not sure what orange means. Plate appearances 47, usage 10%. Okay, so he will pinch hit. Now I could walk him and set up a double play, but we're going to play the infield and outfield in this situation. It's the bottom of the 10th. It's all tied at 1. Yankees have the winning run at third base with 1 out. Let's see, so we walk him to pitch to Verdugo, and then I'm going to have to pitch to Verdugo, and the advantage will go back to McFarland. So we're going to intentionally walk Jones. Let's do that. IBB. Let's intentionally walk Jones. And that's going to bring up a righty, Trevino, right? Yes. So we bring up the righty, Trevino. And first and third, infield in, outfield in. Let's do it. See if the Yankees can win this. Here's a pitch. And a 40 with a 4. And a 40 with a 4 is going to be a hard hit ball. And the runner will hold at third base. So it's going to be a G4, runner on third holds, and the Yanks. It's all in the hands of Oswaldo Cabrera right now. And Cabrera's a 250 hitter. Who's up after him? A 243 hitter. So we're gonna pitch to Oswaldo Cabrera. Second and third, 2 outs. And the winning run is 90 feet away. Let's see if Cabrera can drive him home and be the hero. Let's do it. And that's a 67, which is going to be a swing and a miss. Strikes him out. And they strand runners at second and third. Holy smokes. All right, Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes is orange. We're going to see if we can get through Noda. Ryan Noda. Let's do it. 87 with a 7. And that'll be a fly ball to right. Geloff is, will he advance on this? He is average, fly ball to right. Ooh, fly ball to right. He does have a chance. He's going to try to tag up. And that is a good tag, so he goes to third. But before all that, I need a left fielder, and that will be what's-his-face, the guy who came in to pinch hit and then was walked, Jones. Jones will play left field. And then it's a fly out to right. Runner tags, goes to third. So let's do that. F9, runner on second, safe. So the Yankees have the infield in. And it's Nick Allen. Clay Holmes against Nick Allen. And that's a 0-1. That's a deep drive. Deep drive, and he has the ballpark. And that ball is a drive down the line, and that ball is into the corner. Scoring is Geloff, and into second base with an RBI double, putting the A's up 2-1 here in the top of the 11th is Allen. And here's Max Schumann. So Holmes is out. That's it. He did what he could do. And now we have a righty coming up, so we're going to bring in, let's see who we got to bring in. Hamilton can pitch at least to a guy, at least, or 2. Not much more than that, because he is orange right now. So let's see if Ian Hamilton is in there against Schumann with a runner on second. And let's do it. Let's roll it. Pitch, and that is an 83 with an 8, and that's a defensive result. And it's a 60, and a 60 is going to be a ground ball to third, hard hit ball to third. So runner will hold. It's a G5, runner on second holds. And now 2 outs, and it's Ruiz. And the pitch by Hamilton. It's a 12, and a 12 will be a hit by pitch. So he gets plunked. That puts runners on first and second. I think you pronounce it Asteri or Asterieri, something like that. All right. And next up is Tyler Nevin. No, it's J.J. Bleday. There he is. So J.J. Bleday, the lefty, against Hamilton. So first and second, 2 outs, and here's the pitch. A 0-2. That's a deep drive with the ballpark. Oh boy. And that ball is an 82. It's going to be a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. So Ruiz, he's going to score. So this 2 runs come in. 1, 2, 3. 2 runs come in, and into second base with a huge 2-run double is J.J. Bleday off of Ian Hamilton. Ouch. Brent Rooker, going to pitch to him. We're not going to walk him anymore. And that's a deep drive with the ballpark. And that ball's out of here. 2-run shot by Rooker, who hit 39 home runs. And the Yankees now trail by a score of 6-1. They've allowed, 5 runs here in the top of the 11th. Hamilton is still in there getting clobbered. And Langoliers with 2 outs. Pitch, a 94, and that'll do it. A 5 is a bounce to the second base, and that'll be the 3rd out. Torres over to first. And the Yanks, last licks for the Yanks. Down by 5 runs, 6-1. McFarland, we're going to see if we can get him through this. Here's Volpe leading off, and that's going to be a 75, which will be a fly ball left field. Backing up a step is Ruiz. He's there. 1 away. Juan Soto now. Soto today is 0 for 3. Pitch, and that's a 35, which will be a 5, which is a hard hit ball to second base. Over to third. Goes actually on a hard hit ball. Second base, he will advance, so it's a G4. Runner advances to third. That makes no difference. Nobody cares about that run right now. Judge, and an 80, which will end the ball game, and that's a hard hit ball to third. Toro over to first, and in time, and the A's win it in extra innings. They score 5 runs in the top of the 11th. The Yankee bullpen implodes. And final score 6-1. The A's 6-8-0. The Yankees 1-3-0. Yankees bats were asleep. And that's it, my friends. The final score 6-1. The Yanks 12-10. The A's 10-12. So this is Tony Porter. Thanks for watching this game. I hope you enjoyed the presentation of Deep Drive Baseball. Let me take a quick peek at the box score to see if there's anything worth mentioning. So I had a good time playing this game. This was a fun game. So let's see, newspaper box score. Anybody that really stood out? Just Bleday, who came in, had 1 at bat and had 2 RBIs, that double. Yankee-wise, a lot of outs, only 3 hits. The A's used 5 pitchers, and McFarland gets the victory. The Yanks used 6 pitchers, and Holmes takes the loss. Home runs, Stanton Oh no, no home runs for the Yankees, and one home run Rooker, his second of the year. That's it, guys. So thanks for watching, and remember to join Deep Drive Baseball Facebook group and also Universal Baseball Association Facebook group as well. And like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Take care now.